Bailey's hurt. That is what it is. Hopefully, it's nothing major because he's truly their best option at that position. Was it neck strain? Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
10-day IL, retroactive a couple days ago. So he's going to be out at least another week. But, we're going to kind of talk about something that really they need to be considering even regardless of Bailey's health. But they've kind of got a problem right now at catcher where currently on the roster is Andrew Kisner and, Logan Porter. Sam Huff apparently is dealing with a back issue. He wasn't great when he was here anyway, but he's dealing with a back issue that is kind of holding him out. That's why he was unavailable and Logan Porter came up. And you're kind of looking at the production behind Patrick Bailey, and with Bailey dinged up right now, and it's like this team's going to have a problem if they have to roll with this for an extended period of time. And even when Bailey comes back, I think it's a spot that you can really look to upgrade to try and just get a little bit better production in the backup catcher. And I know there's somebody that Dan's going to talk about that was out there to be had in the offseason and probably looks like a very obvious trade candidate. So I'll turn it over to you guys. What are your guys' thoughts?
I'll just piggyback off that point right there. I don't know how many times I have to say it. You guys can look back at lives from last July. I want Travis d'Arnaud. That's the perfect compliment on this team. Perfect compliment to Bailey. Mashes lefties, solid defensive catcher. I wanted him all off season. I wanted him last season. I wanted him this season. Make the move, man. That's just as simple as I could say. So hopefully he's available come the trade deadline, and that's a position that Buster addresses. I really think d'Arnaud would provide a spark, on Bailey's off days. You can split their starts and just try to get as much production out of that position as you can. And then in general, something the three of us have discussed for quite some time as well is the draft is coming up pretty soon. And I think San Francisco has to draft a catcher early, preferably first round if it was up to me. There's a couple guys that you can look for. One's more of a project. One's, that'll be ready here relatively quick. So hopefully they draft one sooner rather than later, because just in general in the minors, there's little to no catching depth. As you mentioned, your options are kind of limited at this point with Porter and whoever else who brought up. I can't even think of his name. That irrelevant. So Kisner. So yeah, I don't know, but it is definitely a position of need. Backup catcher. It's been a position of need. I know they tried to make the whole Tom Murphy thing work. Don't get me started on that. I'll go on a caveman rant for 20 minutes, bashing that dude. But no, I really think you got to make a trade come the trade deadline. I go get Travis d'Arnaud if he's available and go draft a catcher, because you got to rebuild that depth in the minors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, d'Arnaud's playing pretty consistently for the Angels right now. His numbers aren't going to wow you, but he's going to give you a professional at bat. And I mean, just as recent as last year, he hit pretty well. And they still have Logan O'Hoppe there. I don't see the Angels having any aspirations of doing anything crazy this season. So I don't see why not. He wouldn't cost you a ton and would help you out a lot. He's not going to interfere with Bailey starting when Bailey comes back, which would probably be before you'd even be trading for d'Arnaud anyways. But yeah, I don't see why not. I think we talked about it in the offseason. He's a perfect complement to Bailey. I don't know why they wouldn't go out and do it, and hopefully they do, because I don't think playing Sam Huff once a week is going to be the answer to helping out at that position. And just regardless, you can never have enough catching depth. That is something that they've severely lacked in the organization, and they've really just failed to address year in and year out.
No, Aaron, no.
Not allowed. Yeah, please note Kirk Casale for the third time. Yeah, no, a couple good ideas in here. Definitely, I would love to see them go get d'Arnaud. I don't think it would cost him much as far as prospect haul. It'd be a pretty cheap trade in all reality. Big thing with him is he does hit lefties really well. Very small sample size this season, only 21 at bats this year, but he's got like over a 1,000 OPS currently against them. He's hit 2 homers and a double, I think, in 21 at bats. So he's swinging it well there, and it would be a good compliment to Patrick Bailey. The other one I saw somebody mentioned was Tyler Stevenson from the Reds. He is under contract for another year. I don't know if I don't know the Reds situation as far as if they would want to trade him right now. This would probably be the time to do it because he has a year and a half left. But I'm not 100% on if they would look to do that. But the big thing for me is, they've got to find Bailey's better side, if we want to call that, is from the left. So ideally you find somebody that can hit left-handed pitching pretty well, and Tyler Stevenson does. So that would be another really good option. And that would actually, because he has a year and a half left, that actually solves the backup catcher problem for next season as well. Mm-hmm. So that would actually be really nice.
That would be ideal. And to George, your point about d'Arnaud, though, yeah, he was signed for $318. The Giants signed Tom Murphy for $213. He's getting paid $6.5 million per year, and you've got maybe a month out of him as far as playing time is concerned. So he falls off the books after this year. That's absolutely a contract you can bring on if need be.
It's 2 for 12.
Yeah, so he's only under contract next season.
So same situation. For some reason, I thought it was a 1-year deal. Just double checked. It's 2. So either option, actually. I mean, Stevenson's probably a little younger and better, but
d'Arnaud's cheaper than Murphy.
Yeah.
Well, on a year-by-year base.
I don't know. Murphy. I think Murphy was 4.
I thought it was 6.5, but regardless, it's too much. That's too much.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, a couple good options there. I think both would be really good. It's an easy way that the team could improve a little bit. Guys that you definitely would be a little more comfortable with in situations like this where Bailey is down, being able to go play them every day. Harris is mentioning Sean Murphy. That's another guy. Murphy's a little bit tricky. He does make a little bit more, and I think he's under contract for like 3 years, making like 15-ish million a year, something like that. If you make that trade, I have a hard time feeling like you keep Bailey around, because to me, if you're going to make that trade, you're really doing it for him to start. Similar situation with, I think it's Harry Ford over in Seattle. A lot of people have mentioned him because he's blocked by Cal Raleigh. I get it, and I'm not against it in any capacity. I have a hard time believing Buster is going to go trade for an unproven guy to just turn the team over to him at catcher. But, that would be definitely a bold move. If you make that move, because of what you're going to have to give up to get a top 50-ish prospect at the position, like because of the haul you're going to have to give Seattle back for that, your next move is going to have to be to turn around and trade Patrick Bailey, because you don't make that haul to stick him at backup behind Bailey. Like, that's not how you do that. So there are options out there. I don't think they need to necessarily go crazy and trade for a Ford or Murphy or anything like that, but they definitely need to do something, because neck injuries can linger, and I don't think you can go into this feeling comfortable that he's going to be 100% going the rest of the year. And what they've got behind him is not acceptable.
And what's interesting is apparently he dealt with this exact same thing back in 23. So it's not like a new injury to him. It's a reoccurring thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I was just going to ping that one. Rob, if it was up to me, I absolutely would. And I'm not even joking.
That'd be so funny. How pissed would Bart be?
Yeah, he'd be pretty upset. It's obviously not happening, but
I mean, it's a different regime. I mean, maybe Bart would be like, whatever, because Posey's running it, but I think he just...
I don't know how awkward that would be.
It's so awkward, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, Murphy would be great, but Sean Murphy, not the one we don't talk about. Yeah. Sean Murphy would be great, but I mean, let's be honest here. That is absolutely not going to happen. They're not going to rock the boat like that with their catcher, whether I agree with it or not. They're just not going to rock the boat like that mid-season in the middle of a postseason run while the team is playing well. They're just not going to do that. There's way too much chemistry between Bailey and the pitching staff. Now, if Bailey hits at a 170, 180 clip through the rest of this season with no power and a ton of strikeouts, and then he goes into next season and does the same thing, maybe you have that conversation next off season, but ultimately the leash is going to be pretty long, whether I agree with it or not.
Another name that was floated out, which I can't see happening, but it's definitely there's been murmurs, is Adley Rushman. And that'd be a blockbuster deal at the deadline if he was to get traded somewhere else. Because they got that one dude in
Basayo.
Basayo. He's a beast.
Here, wait. My dad just sent this to me. Sorry, people. We're gonna leave it on this note. Hold on. Is it this one?
I'm scared.
Oh boy.
He got the golden sombrero.
That's freaking worse than the golden sombrero.
That's the Pope's hat or whatever it is they call it.
What is the name for that? That's what we call pack your fucking bags and go home.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's brutal.
He's got to strike out for each different facial hairstyle, Cody.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, it's called the platinum sombrero.
Oh, the platinum sombrero.
Or Olympic rings.
I'm more impressed that he's got a 700 OPS.
I didn't even notice that.
That's more impressive than the 5Ks. Yeah, Aaron, you see.
How many at bats does he have this season?
Yeah, okay. Now we're gonna dig. I know he homered like his first at bat.
Luis Robert Jr. is putting up some Bailey numbers right now. 187 with a 577 OPS.
God. Hey, Mike Talkman though, 949.
He's got like 5 at bats.
Hey,
47 at bats for Slater. He's hit 2 homers.
47. Okay, see, there we go.
Hey, he was their number 1 target at free agency. Don't forget.
That is still the funniest.
Like, how as a player of his caliber do you say that and are absolutely serious, knowing that the White Sox were like the worst team at that time in MLB history? Yeah. Like, that is not a flex, dude.
Yeah.
Aaron, the explanation is that he needs to come to San Francisco.
Like, Austin Slater is like in Major League when like the owner's trying to sabotage the team by making them worse. Like, that is you, my guy. They're trying to make their team worse to get out of Chicago. That is why you're there. You are not the big signing.
Dude, when they trade from the Japanese guy in Major League 2, and they're like, I got you an outfielder from the Giants, and they like list off this name, and he goes, not those Giants. Oh man,
I need to rewatch that, dude. It's been so long.
Murphy always reminded me of Rube Baker.
That's a good
Except for instead of throwing back to can't throw it to the pitcher, he like can't throw it to second base. Like when Baker hops up and he like tries to throw it, and there's just like balls freaking scattered everywhere behind the mound. Oh man.
I really don't think that guy ever plays another inning in the league.
It better not be with San Francisco if he does.
No,
God. Just can't.